In 2007, Tang Wei became the most popular young actress in China thanks to her role in Lust Caution. But just a few months later, this role caused her to be temporarily banned in mainland China due to film's explicit love scenes. At the peak of her fame, Tang Wei suddenly fell to rock bottom. Everyone thought that, for a rookie who had just become famous, encountering such a big incident, her career would be over. Unexpectedly, the actress not only continued her acting career but also returned to the peak in a spectacular way. Tang Wei was born into a family with an artistic tradition. Her parents were also very supportive of their child pursuing an artistic career. However, it took her 4 years to be accepted into the Central Academy of Drama. In 2001, she was chosen as the female lead in the play A Dream Like a Dream by playwright Stan Lai. Thanks to her good performance, Stan Lai helped her a lot to get her first roles, especially introducing her to director Ang Lee during the casting process of the film Lust Caution. Although Tang Wei was not the first choice that director Ang Lee thought of when announcing the project Lust Caution, she has proven that she is the most suitable person to play the role of Wang Qiaqi. To prepare for the role, she learned Shanghainese, Suzhou Pingtan, and learned how to walk in a Changsam. In the film, Wang Qiaqi is a university student who joins a group of resistance agents plotting to assassinate Mr. Yi, a high-ranking Chinese collaborator working with the Japanese government. To get close to him, she adopts the persona of Mrs. Mack, the wife of a fictional businessman, and begins a passionate and dangerous affair with Mr. Yi. Her mission to entrap and kill Mr. Yi becomes complicated by her growing emotional and sexual involvement with him. Ultimately, Wang Qiaqi warns Mr. Yi of the assassination plot, allowing him to escape. This act of betrayal leads to the capture and execution of her and her fellow resistance members. From Malaysia to Shanghai, the filming process lasted 118 days, and the scenes that Tang Wei participated in were filmed for 114 days. Ang Lee is famous for his strict requirements for actors, and this went to the extreme when he filmed Lust Caution. However, thanks to that, we can witness excellent performances from the entire cast of the film. The film crew's dedication was well rewarded when Lust Caution won the Golden Lion at the 64th Venice Film Festival. Tang Wei personally received a lot of praise for her performance in the film. She almost reached the peak of her career with just this one role. The period after the ban was a very difficult time for Tang Wei. However, thanks to her efforts and the help of director Ang Lee, she found the right direction to return to the big screen after 2 years of studying and training. Crossing Hennessy 2010, the story revolves around two shopkeepers, Loy and Oilin, who live on opposite sides of Hennessy Road and are set up on a blind date by their well-meaning relatives. Both are initially reluctant because Loy is still hung up on his divorced ex-girlfriend, while Oilin is waiting for her hot-headed boyfriend, who is in prison for assault, to be released. Despite an awkward and unsuccessful first meeting over a dim sum meal, they gradually develop a friendship based on shared interests, such as crime and mystery novels. Over time, Loy and Oilin realize they may find happiness with each other. Tang Wei's role as Oilin marked her return to film after the ban lifted in China, and it helped re-establish her career in a lighter, more comedic genre. Late autumn 2010, the story follows Anna, a Chinese immigrant who is serving time in prison for killing her abusive husband. She is granted a 72-hour furlough to attend her mother's funeral. On the bus to Seattle, Anna meets Hoon, a charming Korean gigolo on the run from a powerful businessman, seeking revenge for an affair Hoon had with the businessman's wife. Despite Anna's cold and withdrawn demeanor, Hoon's persistence gradually draws her out of her shell. They spend time together in Seattle, developing an unexpected bond amid their troubled pasts. The story ends ambiguously, with Anna waiting for Hoon after her release from prison, symbolizing hope for a new beginning. Tang Wei plays Anna. She described her as a woman who has forgotten what love means and exists in a state of emptiness until Hoon's presence ignites a spark within her. The film became the highest-grossing Korean film released in China to date, proving that Chinese audiences have not forgotten Tang Wei after the difficult time. Thanks to this film, she brought home her first awards in the Korean market, notably the Baeksang Art Award for Best Actress. She is the first foreigner to have this honor. Dragon 2011. The story is set in 1917 Republican China and follows Liu Jingxi, a seemingly ordinary papermaker living in a remote village with his wife Yu and their 2 sons. After Liu kills 2 bandits who try to rob the village store, a detective named Zhu Baiju investigates and suspects that Liu is hiding a violent past. It is revealed that Liu Jingxi is actually Tang Long, a former deadly martial artist and second in command of the notorious 72 Demons gang. The climax features intense martial arts action, including a showdown between Liu and his former master. Tang Wei plays Yu, the devoted and supportive wife of Liu Jingxi. Yu is portrayed as a loving mother and wife who stands by her husband, despite the dangerous secrets he hides. Her role contrasts with the film's intense action sequences by highlighting the personal stakes and the human side of the protagonist's struggle. Finding Mr. Right 2013. Tang Wei plays Wen Jiajia, a pregnant woman from Beijing who travels to Seattle to give birth to her child. Her boyfriend is a wealthy but corrupt businessman who is already married. Jiajia plans to secure U.S. citizenship for her baby by delivering in America, staying at an illegal maternity center. Upon arrival, she meets Frank, a Chinese immigrant driver who was once a successful doctor in China but moved to Seattle to care for his daughter while his ex-wife pursues her career. Initially, Jiajia and Frank have a strained relationship, but as they spend time together, they grow closer. Jiajia's boyfriend becomes embroiled in legal troubles, freezing her access to his money and forcing her to rely on Frank's support. Eventually, Jiajia realizes her boyfriend's materialistic love is hollow and breaks up with him. She starts a cooking website to support herself and her son. Meanwhile, Frank returns to his medical career. 2 years later, they reunite at the top of the Empire State Building in New York, echoing the iconic scene from Sleepless in Seattle, and begin a relationship. Finding Mr. Right is the first film Tang Wei participated in that was produced in China after the ban. The film became a box office legend, earning 16 times the production cost. The sequel, released in 2016, even set an all-time record for romantic comedy in China. A Tale of Three Cities 2015. The film, based on the real-life love story of Jackie Chan's parents, Charles and Li Chan. The narrative spans 3 decades and 3 cities. Wuhu during the Second Sino-Japanese War in the 1930s, Shanghai during the Chinese Civil War in the 1940s, and Hong Kong in the 1950s. The story follows Fang Daolong, a former spy and customs officer, and Chen Yurong, a strong-willed widow and mother of 2 daughters, who meet under difficult circumstances and fall in love. Their relationship endures separation, war, political turmoil, and personal hardships, including their children being left behind in mainland China for many years. Despite numerous obstacles, they keep their promise to reunite and start a new life together in Hong Kong. The film portrays their resilience, sacrifice, and enduring love amid the chaos of war and revolution, highlighting the human cost of historical upheavals. Director Park Chan-wook met and convinced Tang Wei to participate in his work. Even when the script was not yet completed, she plays the role of Song Seo-rae, a Chinese immigrant, a caretaker for elderly clients, and the much younger wife of a retired immigration officer, who died after falling from a mountain he frequently climbed. She is investigated by Detective Jang Hae-jun. As he conducts stakeouts and interviews, he becomes fascinated and emotionally entangled with Seo-rae, despite initial suspicions. She reveals a dark past, admitting she euthanized her terminally ill mother in China before moving to Korea to claim a mountain inheritance from her Korean grandfather. Letters from Ki suggest his death was a suicide, linked to corrupt dealings. Hae-jun rules the death a suicide, and their relationship deepens with shared visits and a tentative romance. However, Hae-jun later discovers Seo-rae manipulated evidence and actually murdered Ki by pushing him off the mountain, using her elderly client's phone to create an alibi. Despite confronting her, he covers up the evidence and tells her to leave his life. A year later, Hae-jun, now depressed and living with his wife Yong-an, encounters Seo-rae again, now remarried to a businessman who soon dies under suspicious circumstances. Seo-rae is implicated but denies involvement. Another man confesses to the murder, revealing Seo Rei's indirect role in orchestrating events. The film ends with Seo Rei choosing to disappear by burying herself alive in the sand at the beach, leaving Hae-jun anguished and searching for her, symbolizing an unresolved mystery and the tragic consequences of their forbidden relationship. Tang Wei's excellent performance in the role of Seo Rei brought her name back to the top. The film helped director Park Chan-wook win the Best Director award at the Cannes Film Festival. As for Tang Wei, she almost swept all the Best Actress awards in Korea in 2022. When receiving the Best Actress award at the Blue Dragon Film Awards for Decision to Leave, Tang Wei said, "The life of an actor is waiting for a good script, a good character. I waited for months, years and even decades. I'm lucky that I waited for Seo Rei. Fortunately, after all the ups and downs, Tang Wei is still there, even reaching new milestones in her career." After all these years, the incidents, bad luck and pitfalls of the frivolous art world could not defeat her. And now, she is shining brighter and more glorious than ever.